We will check the real difference between Spring and Spring Boot. Spring Framework, what it is: a comprehensive Java enterprise framework providing foundation support for developing Java applications, core MVCs, AOP, security, etc. Release, introduced in 2002. Purpose: build enterprise level applications using modular components like Spring Core, Spring AOP, Spring Data, Spring MVC, and Spring Security. Require extensive configuration using XML or Java-based annotations. Flexibility, offers high flexibility, but developers need to configure a lot: data source, dispatcher servlet, security filters, etc. Spring Boot, what it is: a REPL built on top of the Spring framework to simplify development. Release, introduced in 2014. Purpose: rapid deployment of standalone production-ready Spring applications. Key features: auto configuration, automatically configures bean based on dependencies. Embedded server, no need for var deployment, runs with embedded Tomcat JT undertow. Spring Boot starter dependencies: predefined Maven Gradle dependencies, production-ready metrics and health checks via Spring Boot actuator. Configurations: minimal manual configuration, mostly via application.properties or application.yml. Now we will compare Spring Framework and Spring Boot on the certain features. Just like release here, when it is released, Spring is released on 2002. Spring Boot released 2014. Purpose: Spring Framework purpose is enterprise application framework. This is Spring Boot. This is rapid app development using Spring. Configurations: in Spring Framework we do manual XML Java config, but in Spring Boot we do automatic conventions over configurations. Server side: external container, Tomcat, JBoss, etc. But in Spring Boot it is embedded servers just like Tomcat, JT, undertow. Starter dependencies. So in Spring Framework it is not available, but in Spring Boot it is available. Yes, Spring Boot starter, which is we defined in the pom.xml. Deployment side, Spring Framework var or ER we have, but in Spring Boot this is a jar we can create. This is standalone. Learning curve, steeper, easy for beginners because this is annotation based. Use case: fine-grained control over app configurations. Spring Boot side, this is quick microservices, REST API, cloud apps. Cloud level comparison of Spring, a simple REST API using Spring Framework. This is traditional. Spring Boot, this is modern. Now we will create an endpoint. This is get method /hello. It will return hello world. So for this Spring Framework traditionals, what we do requires manual configuration just like web.xml, servlet config, and more. In the web.xml servlet configurations, we give this entry just like dispatcher or org.spring-framework web servlet dispatcher servlet, and then we have to define the path where it is spring config.xml, and on the load startup we give the one it will load sub first time this one these configurations. Now in the servlet mapping we gave the dispatcher URL pattern. So this type of configuration